All right, welcome everybody. This is our Tuesday Kangen in-depth education by yours truly, myself and Jody Kramer in Sheridan, Oregon. We have been sharing this technology for over a decade and a half for myself, and it's just one of the most amazing things that's come into our life. What we're using every single day, what we're sharing with our friends and family. You're probably here because you got an invite from myself or from one of us or from somebody who just loves this product like we love this product, and we just want to share it with people, and we want to take this opportunity on these Zoom calls to share this information, show you some concrete science, show you some concrete information that you can look up, so that this isn't just hearsay, this isn't just what people are saying. That's what I'm finding out is people are like, is this for real? Absolutely, it's for real. And not only what we feel when we utilize the technology of the healthiest water on the planet, out of our own faucet, but what other people are getting, and then the science to back it up. So just follow the data is what we're doing. We're going to follow the data from start to finish. The best person to show us that data tonight is Jody Kramer. So I'm going to bring her on and let her go into it. Jody, can you hear me? Can you come on with me?
Yeah, I definitely can. Excellent.
Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. We've been having a heat wave down in Oregon, like we're over 100 degrees. Geez, I think since last probably Thursday or Friday, we started hitting the triple digits. So it's been really nice having this advanced hydration to really keep my body supported and where I need to be. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to share stuff. I see a lot of new folks and faces. So as standard, I'm going to get my screen sharing on, get my sound enabled. So I have all of those elements taken care of, and then we will get going. Right. Okay. Got that. And I want to do this and enable my sound. Yay. So yeah. So again, wherever you're at, if you're catching this on a replay or you're here with us this evening or in the morning or the afternoon, wherever you're at, we're excited to have you here with us. We are going to be talking about advanced hydration. I kind of call ourselves advanced hydration strategists at this point, after 12 years of doing this, because we have found the best way to take your current hydration levels and move them to the next. And we do that with a Kangen Water, and we also do that with Enagic. So we're going to talk about those two this evening. We're going to talk about your hydration. I am, as see, I mentioned Jody Kramer, my sister Jolene Smith is with me, and we have the hydration station. We're physically located in Sheridan, Oregon, where we have a brick and mortar sharing location, which you can kind of see behind us. So yeah, really happy to be here to share stuff with you. A little bit of housekeeping. Everybody is going to be on mute to start with. So Jolene and Rita are normally our co-hosts, but Rita is not with us this evening. So Jolene's going to be manning the co-hostiness. And if everybody could share where you're from, maybe who invited you, where you heard about this, that would be awesome. If you're catching this on the replay, just do a shout out to whoever it is that sent it to you and let them know that you watched it. So, questions, pop them in the chat. We're going to be sharing links. We're going to be sharing a lot of information. So, definitely keep your questions there for now, because we are going to open the mics at the end for Q&A. So sit back, learn, take some notes, whether it's on a steno pad, a physical piece of paper, or a digital product, and just enjoy your time with us. The last piece of housekeeping is a disclaimer that this information provided by all of us that are here supporting me has not been evaluated by the Food or Drug Administration. So these products, we're not meant to be a substitute for any medical advice, any diagnosis. We're not making any claims, none of that. But we are here to share some lived experience with Kangen Water and advanced hydration that we have seen over, well over a decade now, and collectively over 50 years amongst the group of us. So a little bit about myself. I found Kangen Water in 2012 from a good friend of mine. If you're skeptical and you've been wondering, like, what in the world is this about? Like Siha said, it's for real. It's science backed. It's fact backed. And we have experience as well. And so 12 years is really flown by. It's been an awesome journey, been enjoying it. And along with doing this, I have my initial career, which is in information technology. The last 10 years of that have been in the health and wellness field and in electronic health records. So I like to blend the two modalities, my careers together, and kind of bring the best information forward. Additionally, Siha is going to pop back on with us. And why is that important? Well, Siha is our mentor. He is my leader. He's the person who has helped me. I've met him in person in 2013, and it's just been a great combination ever since. So you're in no better place in time to hop on board with this team and be guided with the right ideas, leadership, vision, and all of that. So more to come at the end. So we're going to save the best for the last. So I'm not sure what brought you here today. If it's just looking to improve areas of your health, if you're like, hey, my hydration's not working as well as I'd like, I don't like water. I don't like the way it tastes. Maybe you're here for eco reasons. Maybe you want to help the planet. Maybe you want to get rid of plastics, pesticides, save money, time, energy, enhance different things, well, you're going to find out this evening how you can really check a lot of these ideas of why maybe you're here and how it can all be done very simply. Just it's almost too good to be true because it's so simple. So I was able to, when my friend started talking to me, I have type 2 diabetes, got diagnosed in '08 with a high A1C, close to 11. And my friend was really on me when she found out about this in 2011. I kind of blew her off for 6 to 8 months. And boy, was I ever happy to be wrong when I finally listened and with, as I say, my two ears and kept my one mouth a little bit quiet. I saw something very similar to what you're going to see. And it's been life changing. I really believe that my trajectory of my health and where I've headed is in a phenomenally different place than it was going after my 4 years of being diagnosed. And so I'm just excited to show you how simply changing your water will really change your life and that that's a true meaningful statement. So I want to play a quick video that's going to encapsulate some of the things that we'll be covering this evening, kind of package that together. So it'll set some expectations of where we're going to be headed and what we're talking about. So hold with me and I'll play this and I'll be right back.
Imagine your body as a thriving ecosystem where every cell, every tissue, every organ is continually replenished and revitalized. Now picture this, around 60% of this ecosystem is water. Surprising, isn't it? Water, the elixir of life, forms the foundation of our very existence. Enter Kangen Water, a revolutionary concept in health and hydration. More than just a drink, Kangen Water is a lifestyle change, a commitment to a healthier, happier you. Kangen water, simply put, is ionized alkaline water. But it's much more than that. It's a powerful antioxidant, a cleanser, and a hydrator. It helps to neutralize free radicals, those pesky villains that cause aging and disease. It assists in flushing out toxins from our bodies, leaving us feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. But the benefits don't stop there. Kangen water, with its alkaline properties, helps balance our body's pH levels. In a world filled with processed foods and stress, where acidity is the norm, Kangen water provides a much-needed reprieve. It's like giving our bodies a mini detox every day. Keeping hydrated with Kangen water can also boost our energy levels and enhance our cognitive functions. It's like a fuel that keeps our bodies running smoothly and efficiently. And the best part? Kangen water is eco-friendly. By reducing our reliance on bottled water, we're not just improving our health, we're also doing our bit for the planet. So, are you ready to embark on a journey towards better health and hydration? Are you prepared to make a change, not just for yourself, but for the environment too? The path to wellness begins with Kangen water. So you are ready to take the first step? Great. Then you are in the right place and time to get started.
All right, so that covers a little bit about what we'll be talking about. It's just incredible being so much water, 60% water with our body, and so many things requiring water that, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So
Imagine
whoops, there we go. So, Kangen water in an adjunct. Let's kind of cover that right out of the gate. Some of you may have researched this before you got here, or you're doing it now. But either way, Kangen water is water that comes out of a water ionizer. This one here is the Mighty K8, and it's called Kangen water because it comes out of an ionizer that is made by Enagic. And Enagic is a Japanese company. They are over 50 years old, and they have gone to the extent of making this water ionizer actually certified as a medical grade device in Japan and also through the International Standards Organization. So even though this just looks like a nice, simple thing that's going to sit on your counter like these behind me, it has a lot of history and things behind it that make it an amazing tool to get the advanced hydration. Now, a water ionizer has things called medical, well, ours are considered medical grade plates. So they're titanium and they're coated in platinum. But anyways, this one here has 8 medical grade plates. It has 230 watts of power. And the reason that that is important is the power and the plates are what do a lot of the heavy lifting. Now that cute LCD screen that looks similar to your smartphone with some nice little icons and buttons actually tells the plates and the power what we actually want. Now, what it does create for us when we select something is 7 different types of water. These 7 types of water range from 2.5 to 11.5 pH, potential of hydrogen. And we're going to learn more about what that means as we continue on our short time together this evening. I would say this evening because it's evening here. But anyways, wherever you're at. So the 859 and 95 are drinking waters, and that's where a lot of people get interested in learning about Kangen water. They're like, I want to improve my hydration. My friends been telling me about this, you know. So we're going to touch on those first, but we're also going to talk a little bit about the 6.0, the 2.5, and the 11.5. So you can see the beyond the drinking and consumption, which is amazing for the body, you can do other amazing things around your home that is good for you, the planet, your kiddos, your family, really taking things to the next level. So it's like an all-in-one unit. Now, I mentioned that it's a water ionizer, and the plates are important, and the power and the little display, right, that gives it the instructions. Well, I want to show you just a super short video of what the ionization is like. So here we go.
One of the most important things to understand about water ionizers are the plates. Enagic uses solid titanium plates, individually cut to size and encoded in platinum. And the SD501 has 7 of the largest plates in the industry. The plates are important because these plates are then charged with electricity, becoming the engine of the ionizer. When the water passes over the plates, the minerals in the water are separated into 2 streams of water, one alkaline and one acidic. The more plate surface area and the more power you can apply to the plates, the better the separation and the better the quality of the ionized water.
So with that being said, the fact that Enagic took the time to get the additional certifications to really take their product to that, you know, superior level is why it can produce such a phenomenal medical grade type water for us. And it just simply sits on your counter. I mean, like for me, really, once I got my unit, it was one of the easiest things I did because I literally just swapped the water and the beverages that I was drinking and started consuming this instead. And boy, was it definitely a game changer for me.
One of the most
So we're going to talk first about the drinking waters because again, that is where probably 90% of folks come in. They either maybe found out they got a health issue, maybe they want to try to work towards better hydration. They just aren't getting the results that they're finding. They're spending a lot of money on bottled waters and other things, right? And they're just tired of it. So the 859 and 95 is where we start people at. Most people land on about 9.5, but your body and our coaching will show you where you need to land officially. So Kangen water, again, as I mentioned, is the name for the water that comes out of the water ionizers. There's many water ionizers on the market. There's what I call knockoffs. They're ones that have cheaper metals, cheaper pricing, you know, but cheaper isn't necessarily better. Okay, we know that we've all had buyer's remorse. We all know that you typically get what you pay for. So we want to make sure, and we looked at all these ionizers, and we as the hydration station and the rest of the team here collectively, we chose to lock arms with Enagic. because we want to have the best water that is consuming in our body. And our body is this miracle that is really designed to heal itself. And when we give it the quality things that it needs, it recognizes those things, and it's the miracle. It's what goes to work, trying to do the best it can with what you give it. Okay. So since Kangen Water is associated with eNagic and you want to do some research, because you want to be like, well, is this for me? Like, what is this stuff? Like, okay. So what I want you to do is look for electrolyzed reduced water or electrolyzed restructured water. You might hear acronyms ERW. And this is the scientific name for the type of water that is created through the ionization process with the enagic units. Okay, so Jolene is going to pop in a couple links, Google Scholar and the PubMed site for the official US website for medical things. Those are going to be places to go to put these two terms in and to look up the studies, look up peer-reviewed things, look up scholarly academic documents on this, because that's where you're really going to find the valuable information on what this type of water can do for you. When this type of water is created, you get an extreme antioxidant property. You get high alkalinity, depending on the button you've pressed. You get it microclustered because it's restructured, hence reduced. It's smaller in size, shape, and structure. It gets right in. And you also get active hydrogen. That is just a byproduct of what happens through this process. So you get what I call the quadfecta of health. So we're going to cover these. And the first one we're going to talk about is the antioxidants. Now, why are antioxidants important? Well, they're what the body utilizes and uptakes in order to combat and neutralize free radicals. Okay, now free radicals, you may have heard of them. You may have heard of them called scavengers. You may have heard of them called all kinds of things. They come from many different ways that we come in contact with them. Some of the things here are external ways, well, smoking, you kind of internalize smoking, but smoking, pollution, the sun, but the body itself actually creates different free radicals through the processes that the body actually does. So free radicals are basically an unbalanced little electron. It's just a little unbalanced unit. And basically what it does is it's like, I'm unbalanced. I need some help. It's looking for a donor. It's looking for an extra electron to pair up with and just kind of go about its business. So that's why a lot of people are eating things and they're, buying supplements that are high in antioxidants. There are blueberries, green tea, vitamin C. Maybe you're getting a nice supplement like turmeric, which is another thing that enagic has that you'll hear more about later. But those are things that give the body the extra buffers of those electrons to balance out the free radicals and minimize their damage. So they're really powerful. The nice thing with the Kangen water is they're instantly available. So I can eat my blueberries and, I don't know, however long it takes them to digest and break down and become eventually bioavailable. That's cool. But I instantly get this from my Kangen water. One of our enagic advisory on medical board, Dr. Horst Filter, says you can't eat enough blueberries in a day to come to the same amount that you would get in one glass of Kangen water. So I was like, wow, that is awesome, because now I have multiple modalities to get antioxidants into my system and available to my body. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm not just going to chitty chat. Well, I'll keep chitty chatting, but I am going to show you some stuff. So I have some beverages that I brought with me that we're going to test to see, do they have antioxidants in them or do they not? Do they have the potential to reduce oxidation or do they not? Are they contributing maybe to the oxidative things that our body comes in contact with? Now I'm going to be able to do this because I have a little meter that looks just like that one, a pinpoint meter. You can get them at marine stores, Amazon, wherever. They just actually test the millivolts in these beverages, and a negative charge in this case is positive. So the scale goes at 0 in the middle. Anything above 0 is considered oxidative. Anything that is below 0 is considered an antioxidant. It is reduce the potential of oxidation. Okay, we want to have like anti-aging, and just like we don't want like apples, you know, if you cut an apple and you leave it out, it rusts. Well, it looks like it's rusting because it turns all brown and kind of funky looking, but that's just the oxidative process of breaking things down. So what I want you to kind of take a mental snapshot of this. But again, the big thing we want to look for when I get the meter up is there a little dash like this says negative 395? Are we going to see a dash, or are we just going to see a number? Okay, so let me stop my sharing. All right, super. And I have my little cups, and this way I get 5 things up here, so that's super cool. There we go. Okay, so tonight we have Sprite that we're going to test, okay? And Sprite is going to be representative of all sodas. So whether it's diet soda, regular soda, colored soda, or whatever, we're using the clear for a reason, which you'll see when I talk about the pH value. So let's put some Sprite in here. Let's go ahead and see if Sprite's got some antioxidants, if it's good for us. I also have 2 bottled waters this evening. I have Safeway and Albertsons Signature, because there's, you know, folks buy bottled water. Sometimes you buy the store brand. Sometimes you buy the, what I would call designer or name brands, right? So we also have Dasani, and they got a new spiffy label on it. I noticed when I was replenishing my stock for sharing information. And the thing that's interesting with these bottled waters is they oftentimes are just bottled through a municipal system. They're bottled at different places all over. So just because it might have some fancy, you know, label, or like Aquafina has a cute little mountain on it, really look at the side of them and kind of see where they come from. It's really very interesting. Because, you know, if you're just getting municipal water that's been cleaned and then has some stuff thrown back into it, like maybe that's part of a barrier to being hydrated enough like you want to be. Okay, I have Sheridan's municipal water because we do get water from Sheridan's system. It services all the homes, it services the prison, and it services all the businesses here in Sheridan. And then we have the Kangen Water, 9.5 out of the unit right behind me. It's about an 8-year-old unit. I think as I keep doing the demos, it's going to eventually be 9 years old. But anyways, I just took the Sheridan municipal water and I just ran it through simply that unit by just turning the little diverter and running the water through it. It's really cool because I can make like a gallon of this stuff a minute, and I can make gallons and gallons and gallons. So the machine is just a workhorse. It continues to provide me all kinds of benefits all the time. So let's go ahead and get my little pinpoint meter. I'm going to get it up here and try to make sure I don't have a glare so that y'all can see. So let's go ahead and check the Sprite first. Okay, now again, remember, we're looking for a dash right here. If there's a dash, that's good. There's antioxidants in it. It's awesome for you. If there's no dash, it's oxidative, not supporting to the body. You know, it might taste good, like, oh wow, I love sodas, but it's not that good for the body, in my opinion, in my experience over the last 12 years. So positive 380, let's go with 380. Okay. Now, this is the Safeway Select Signature. And let's see what it's doing. I see 330-ish range, but I still don't see a dash. And especially with the bottled waters, I was really hoping that we would see a dash. Like if you're taking the time to buy this stuff and packing it around and recycling it or doing whatever, hopefully you're not throwing it in the ditch, you know, but that's oxidative. Now let's see what Dasani's got going on for it here. Okay, well, Dasani, well, it's in the range with the Signature, but it's definitely does not have a dash on it. Okay, so you kind of see these two are really close together, and I can guarantee you this one cost me like probably 3 times as much money. Note to self. So this is going to be the Sheridan water. Oh boy, look at that. We're up in the 600 range. Different times of the year, they pull from different locations, like here in Sheridan. So depending on where the water is coming from, and because the municipal systems have a really high regulatory framework, like they're governed by the they're governed by the environmental protection agencies at the state and federal level. These two are governed, well, on that thing, but these two are governed by the Food and Drug Administration with self-reporting. So this one has a lot more rigorous rules around it. And oftentimes this is why it's more oxidated, because it has to be clear. They got to kill germs. They got to do a bunch of stuff to it before it gets to us. Okay. But just because that's what they have to do to it, we don't necessarily want it in that format when I consume it and drink it. So as you can see, we have, watching this thing, all right, we have the dash, all right, right there. We've got the dash, and it is the only thing up here that has an antioxidant property to it. And simply by running it in through that machine and collecting it and then drinking it, like I am getting to the point now where I just, if I've had a cup out for a while, I'll just like go get a fresh one, because fresh is best. Fresh has the most active hydrogen and the most antioxidants available to you. So yeah, I've gotten to be, I'm not a water snob, but I'm like, I got the machine, like I'm just gonna get it as fresh as possible. So you'll learn more why fresh is best. It's not just so you buy a machine. There's a lot of reasons to make sure you're getting the most potent hydration possible for the body. So I'm going to do another, I'm going to be screen sharing, flipping back and forth a few times here so that we can go over a few other pieces. So there's a lot of acidity. Okay, we're going to talk now about the high alkalinity. Okay, so there's a lot of acidity, as the video showed, stress, processed foods, a lot of things that even the body has acidic processes. Okay, so this little slide here is just kind of fun because you can look at it and you go, what kind of those things have I eaten, or do I eat? You know, some of them are normal kind of things people would eat, but some of them are like, pastries. I didn't figure those were on my super health slide. But when everything is super acidic, there's a reason why this is impactful to the body. When the body has too much acidity in it, too much acidity leads to inflammation, and too much inflammation will eventually cause some sort of manifestation of some sort of sickness or illness or other thing going on in the body. Arthritis, bursitis, different things with an itis is basically just inflammation of the body. Now, when so many things are acidic, and even our body has different elements that have different pH values in it. So like you can see tucked down here real tiny, our blood, for example, which is one of the biggest transport systems next to the lymphatic, is the blood itself has to be at 7.365 to 7.4, 7.45. Okay, and it can't really vary out of that. Otherwise, it doesn't sustain life very well. We're born with alkaline buffers. The body was born, it knew like, okay, like I'm going to have some acidic processes. I need to have buffers, but we're blowing through our buffers like way faster. It's like we've left our job and we're trying to use our savings account to live on. Okay, well, we got to have something to help there, or otherwise we're going to run out. Okay, so if everything's acid forming, one of the easiest ways that I finally learned about after I quit being stubborn and skeptical was just consuming this water. The pH scale, which we're going to test these things, goes from 0 to 14. So the pH scale is what's considered logarithmic. So when we go from say 7 to 2, it's 100,000 times more potent, more powerful, okay? Same when we go from 7 to 12, 100,000 times more potent, more powerful. Now, if the blood is supposed to be at 7.365, we are just slightly above 7. 7 is considered neutral. Okay, so anything above 7 is considered alkaline. Anything below 7 is considered acidic. And it's pretty nice because it's like the color of the rainbow in the sense that it goes from red to like a really, really dark purple, almost black. Okay. So we're going to test these beverages that I brought for us and see, are they acidic? Are they neutral? Are they alkaline? Like, what are they? What are they helping the body to do? Or maybe not helping the body to do, right? So with that, okay, covered that it's logarithmic. And you can see here, soda pop and other things, if they're anything that lands in about a 2.5 range is 50,000 times more acidic. Same when we start talking about 11.5, 50,000 times more alkaline. This is how you can pitch a half gallon of that thing in your washing machine and you can do a load of laundry. And it actually takes out this stuff because of the power that the water has to it. So we call it living water for a reason, because when we zap it, those plates essentially are just zapping the water and restructuring it, kind of like lightning busting a tree up into a bunch of little pieces. That's what we're doing. So let me stop sharing and grab my little, oh, hey, looky there. It's already on the right thing. So I have this here that we're going to use, and I have some of these things because I got to turn these liquids colors, right? We want to know, like, what are they going to do for us? So let me put that back down because I want to make sure that I get the same amount of drops in each one of these cups. So if they have an equal opportunity to turn whatever color they're going to do. All right. Now, these are phenol red, phenol blue pH drops, and you can get these anywhere. You can get them at a fish store. You can get them off Amazon. You can get them from Enagic. You can get them anywhere. But if you're going to if you're like, wow, this is like really cool magic show, and you want to show your friends or family, or maybe go on social media, who knows, right? Just make sure you get the right ones because you want to make sure you get the right results. Fish tanks and sauna ones are a smaller range, and so sometimes they won't turn the right color, and then you might think that I'm kind of full of it, and I'm really not. So let me I'm gonna pause, have a moment of silence while I get these in. All right, so I got 8. Eight's what I counted. So got it in there. We're gonna just use the pen this evening because I don't know where the other thing is at. And I'm mixing them up so that the color kind of distributes through these little skinny cups I got. Oh, goodness. Okay, so thing back. All right, so here is the pH scale. And this one's kind of more fun because we got thumbs up, we got thumbs down, we got smiley faces, frowny faces. Anything that is got a frowny face is not good, doesn't support the body, in our opinion. Anything that is got a thumbs up is definitely more alkaline, life-giving, good for the body. So Sprite, it's pretty close to that orange, right? And close to that 2.5 to a 3, which, like there's a lot of folks that call these sodas like cancer in a can. When you think of how acidic these pops are, and they're 50,000 times more acidic than the, value of our blood, just imagine what's happening when you're, going and, you're getting, say a value meal, right? And you're going to supersize it. Go, okay, I want to say, get my money's worth. I'm going to get to supersize it, so then your drink goes like extra large. Then you get a free refill if you've dined in, maybe, and sometimes we find kiddos and folks are drinking like a gallon or better of soda pop every day, or monsters or sports drinks. The monsters and the Red Bulls and stuff are just like this. So I will try to get some maybe for next week so that we can look at those because, yeah, they're like, oh, give you energy. Well, there's some repercussions with that. So this is the Safeway store brand, okay? And that is a little more yellow. So it's less acidic than the soda pops, which I would hope to shout that it would be better than soda. Same with the Dasani. Now, the thing is, though, is they're still acidic. Okay, they aren't alkaline at all. They did not have any antioxidants into them. So first of all, I'm not sure what the life-giving piece of this is that these things do. We'll see when I show the hydration, like maybe they're gonna perform there. So, but if not, I'm like 3 strikes and you guys are out. So this one is the Sheridan water. It looks really kind of wonky. I did put 8 of them in there, but it's like it's neutral, like where it should be. But again, they put things in this, so it has to be at a 7. Okay, that's mandated by the Environmental Protection Agency. And they have a list of things that they are allowed to put in it in order to bring up its alkalinity, like ash, lye, and different things like that. Now, I mean, as oxidative as it was, if they hadn't put things in it like that, it would look like these things, because that's what it should have looked like. So it's kind of inflated to look that way. This, of course, is pretty dark violet, purplish color, 9.5. And it just took the things out, took the chlorine out, took the things out that we didn't want in it, but left the good things in it that we did, and created us this. So it is so easy. You don't have to be, well, first of all, these are acidic, and there are some in the stores. Go down the bottled water aisle. It's insane. There's like so many bottled waters. They're throwing things in part of them. Some of them say, oh, we have active hydrogen. Well, you know what? Active hydrogen is pretty hard to bottle and leave it in there for months or years or whatever. It's not possible. So, like, really just kind of take with a grain of salt what you're seeing, do some research and just check this out. You don't have to take my word for it, but sometimes we don't even stop and think about, like, oh, well, that one's pretty. That's, like, just note to self, they're not all they're cracked up to be. And I don't know when water technically had ingredients in it. But like the Dasani does have magnesium sulfate. It has potassium chloride. I mean, these are, there's baking soda in it, essentially. That's sodium bicarbonate, that's baking soda. Magnesium sulfate is like Epsom salts. If you just look on the bag of Epsom salts, that's what that is. So they're just throwing things back in here to try to make it taste better after they possibly scrubbed the municipal water that you would be getting through your tap. So if you've been consuming these things and you start drinking Kangen water, can you balance yourself out? You definitely are going to be able to. Just depending on what you've been drinking, it may take longer, but that's okay. All of our journeys start somewhere. Start with the first step. You're going to have, when you lock arms, you're going to get all of us. You're going to get our tools, our information, coaching, mentoring. You can tell us to buzz off at some point, but we want to make sure that you get the value, that you get the knowledge, that you know what you can do. So yeah, I'm just super excited. I'm a little jacked up tonight, but this is so acidic, as we saw 50,000 times. Just a tiny bit of this will take out all of that balanced body. Okay, so we are going to put these out of the way. Moral of this part of the show is get the bottled waters out, in my opinion, and the sodas, of course, and if you are consuming these things, like, I'm not really one to judge, because I was drinking a lot of Diet Cola before I finally gave in to my friend. Like, I didn't think I was drinking like a half case a day or better, but hey, you don't get to be type 2 diabetic because you're doing everything right. So yeah, I was shocked how much I was drinking. This is embarrassing. But you know what? I'm like, well, it is what it is. So I started doing something different. And 12 years into it, I can't be quiet about it. Can't give it up. So, all right, let me screen share because I want to show you the hydration piece. Come on, there it goes. All right, super. So as I mentioned, it's going to be micro clustered. It's going to provide superior hydration. And really, what does that mean? These waters, I call them big water. Municipal waters, bottled waters, or big waters. And sometimes, we have folks come to us and they're like, I don't even like bottled water. Like, I don't drink water. And you're like, what? And, they're like, well, I feel bloated. I don't like the taste, whatnot. So the large water doesn't necessarily get in and actually go to work like the small clusters do. So when it gets reduced in size and restructured, it becomes small water clusters, and they're able to penetrate, hydrate, and rejuvenate your cells and get in there. Your cells are made of water. They're surrounded by water. Um, our body is made up of cells, and we're comprised of all this water. So I would think that if we're made up of this much water, it just might be the case if you change your water, you really will change your life, you know? So you can see the different percentages of the human body and what the water makeup is of those. But the foundation of our health really is proper hydration. So whatever else you're doing, like once you're properly hydrated, then your body can actually uptake and utilize so many more things more effectively that you're doing, whether it's even exercise. It helps you detox and get these things, the lactic and uric acids out of your muscles from working them out. It helps deliver things better to the cells. It helps detox, like the thing said, a mini detox every day. And with all of these trillions of cells in our body, we want them to be as healthy as possible. Okay. And this is what a healthy, hydrated, and I say happy blood cell looks like. And this is an example of one that's oxidized, not so happy, just a little frumpy, and it's jagged, and just like it looks like. They catch on each other, they stack up in a form called a rouleau. Like, we don't want our blood stacked up. We want it free flowing. We want it to be smooth, buoyant, with a nice repellent charge. So when you have these 4 properties that come just by making the water, you can actually help support these hydrated looking cells throughout the entire body. Now, I'm going to pause sharing because I am going to show you this. Well, these will work perfect. So, yeah, that'll work. I think I can get 5 of them on there, but that's okay. All right, so how am I going to show you superior hydration? You're probably like, where's the microscope? Like, where's all your fancy equipment you're going to use? Well, I'm so fancy, I'm going to use just a green tea bag, okay? And it works really well to illustrate what the Kangen Water does, okay? So I want you to kind of just play pretend with me for a minute. This is, again, green tea. Don't expect it to turn dark, but it'll be green looking. But pretend that this bag is your body, and the tea leaves inside of it are like your cells, because plant leaves and tea leaves are cells of a sort. And I'm going to see, can I hydrate and detox this tea bag, my body, with, let's go with the Dasani, because it cost me the most out of the group here. And get some in there. All right. Now, some of you might be like, well, I don't know how you think you're going to make tea with room temperature water. So, of course, normally you would boil your water. And the reason you boil water is because it excites the molecules and it actually makes them smaller in size. They get in, they do what they need to do, make tea, make coffee, cook foods, whatever, right? So we're trying to see, do we have a small enough water to get in and actually hydrate and make tea? Well, I don't think that looks very green tea-ish. So we're going to put this here. Let's get the Kangen Water, 9.5, and see, what do we have? All right. Well, I didn't even have to dunk it. It just went to work. Look at that. Okay, this is how simple. This is the best illustration of how easy just drinking it. Those antioxidants start going in. It gets into the cells. It pulls things out. I mean, the awesome thing is this water helps take nutrients in and remove waste from our cells. That's why, just gentle detoxing on a daily basis, like how much better does it get than that? Yeah. So if you are skeptical and you're here, because I know I had my hat of skepticity on, or I actually called it a crown because, so important. That's okay, because first time I saw this, I could not believe what I was seeing. I thought, what in the world is he doing with that tea bag? And I really thought it was like a magic tea bag. But little did I know, you can just get those tea bags off from Amazon. You can get them at Asian food stores. Like, they're all over the place. Okay, again, the Safeway water isn't doing much hydration. Let's see if I just use the bag up like I thought when I saw this the first time. Well, nope, not the case. It's already going to work, that in there. So again, this quickly is how it goes as soon as you start, and fresh is best, right? Because we want the most antioxidants. We want the most active hydrogen. We're going to get the alkalinity, and we're going to get the small size. Okay. So this is why just having it on your countertop is the best. You're no longer buying delivery water. You're no longer getting all these little bottles or cases of it and trying to get enough for your whole family and maybe your dogs and your animals. Y'all can just start swapping out and using the Kangen water when your device gets on your right on your countertop, and they take about a week or so to get here. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna remove that thing. And what I want to show you is if you'd been drinking the Safeway and hydrating with that, what happens if I start adding Kangen water to it? Okay, this really got me the first time I saw it, because I was like, wait a minute, there wasn't anything in there because they didn't, they didn't turn colors, they didn't react at all. And I was like, what? And so Rochelle, a really good friend of ours and another mentor that we work with, she was like, the tea leaves were in there. Okay, we say that's big water for a reason, is because it couldn't get in and do what it needed to do. So when you put the Kangen water in it, those tea leaves that had shook out of that bag were like ready and waiting for the proper hydration. So this is really, in my opinion, probably, I think, one of the most exciting properties of the four. They're all phenomenal. I mean, like, they all do wonderful things, but the delivery point of getting the proper hydration, especially on like this 100-degree day. I was saying, like, I've been keeping my hydration up. Like, this is really important. Okay, so I'm gonna move these off to the side and try not to spill them. Like the last 3 weeks in a row, I've just managed to make my own water feature back here in a way that wasn't really, I wasn't super excited about it. Stay over there. All right. So when you get the unit, I told you there's 7 waters. You can go chemical free in your home. No wasted plastics. You're going to use the 2.5, 11.5, and 6.0 to do a variety of things around your household. I am going to breeze through these, but Jolene is going to put all of these links in the chat that you'll be able to check out, because I keep finding more and more research and articles. This is the Epoch or Epic Times, however you want to say it. And these articles are from recently. So like this one talks about DNA sized plastics in the body. Well, I mean, I know I'm little right now, but this is the flimsiest plastic thing. This one is like a Ziploc bag on the cheap side. They let off microplastics. They're designed to break down over like 800 years or whatever it is. And so they put off plastics in the water. They put like, especially if you're drinking this and then you're filling it up at your glug glug machine, like, stop doing that, because once it starts getting air to it, it starts breaking down on the inside. So when you just fill it back up with more whatever, you're just, whatever started breaking down, it's just now you're going to be consuming it. So it's not good for the body. Cardiovascular and brain health issues. They say that also, I saw this one just this past week, microplastics found in male reproductive organs for the first time. Okay, so we didn't have this one last week. I was like, what is up with this? And they're microplastics, but it's super interesting, and what they're finding is mitigation right here. Use antioxidants and omega-3s. Antioxidants, okay. So I told you that per Dr. Filter, you can get more antioxidants in one glass of this than eating as many blueberries as possible. Like the Kangen water is a game changer when we're consuming a credit card worth of plastic in a week, a AA battery in a month. Okay. So Kangen water, in addition to just hydrating, detoxing, and doing whatever, with these properties that it does, it provides more and more ways to help get some of this out of our system. Okay. So links will be in the chat. When you catch us on a replay, you can screenshot it, throw it in Chat GPT. It'll probably take you right there. Okay, those are the literal links. If you don't have access to the chat or I didn't get it in the description box on the replay, again, screenshot it, Chat GPT, Bing, Copilot, whatever you use, it'll help you out. So 2.5, this water is great because it kills 99.999% of all bacteria. It dismantles things within 30 seconds to 2 minutes upon contact. So the scientific name, because now you have your Google Scholar and you also have your PubMed links, right? To go researching the electrolyzed reduced water. Go look for hypochlorous acid. This is the official scientific term for waters under right in this 2.5 range. Okay. So I like, I use the heck out of this. I still do. I'm way more germ conscious now with the pandemic having happened. So this is great. My hands feel great. I can sanitize. I can use it in my laundry. I can use it as in place of peroxide on open wounds and stuff like that. My animals aren't squirmish when I put it on. It's great. And the 11.5 is really good for cleaning and different things. And there's a lot of oil-based products out there in addition to cleaning, all that. And one of the things is the pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides that they put on agriculture because they don't want all the bugs and stuff to be eating their produce and their yield. So they put on a petroleum-based one because that actually sticks to it and doesn't wash off easily with water, rain, or irrigation. But as you can see, this person is extremely in protective wear. They're not dressed for the beach. And there are more and more over time, studies and things that are finding correlations to these toxins that we're coming into contact with. So even though they might put it on the fruits and vegetables or agriculture, like when it gets to the store and then I get it and then I bring it home, I don't necessarily want to eat that. And so the 11.5 is great because it will help take that off your fruits and vegetables. You're not going to have to buy veggie wash. That's the new thing I've seen there. Now they're like, of course, okay, let's put a bunch of stuff on your fruits and vegetables and then we're going to sell you a wash. They're always finding a way to get us. And so if you've been skeptical to come here because you're like, I'm not getting got anymore, like, I totally understand. I totally understand where you're coming from. But this stuff's for real. So it does all of these cool things. I use it in my laundry. I use it as a degreaser cleaner. I use it as a first aid because with the higher the pH, the more antioxidants there are, especially fresh out of the machine. So if I get burnt on the stove or I get a cut or anything like that, depending on if it's an open wound or not, I'll put the 2.5 on it first to kill something. But then I use the 11.5 just straight out of my machine. It's incredible. The because stuff soaks right through our skin. So you can just get that stuff, those benefits right through the skin by just applying it topically. So I have a screen to help me remember to stop sharing because I want to show you, like, you're probably like, well, how in the world are you just using water, to do this? And so I'm going to give you a little visual. So these are tomatoes that I got last week at the store. I think it was Safeway again. I'm using littler cups because I got to get some more big ones. I try to reuse them, but after a while, they kind of wear out. All right, so you know what? Let's see if we can't squish you guys down and get you covered. There we go. All right, so most people come home and they don't think twice about it. and they wash their fruits and vegetables with their tap water. So that's what we're going to use, Sheridan tap water. Okay, we are going to use the 11.5 fresh out of the machine. Now, 11.5 will last for a couple weeks to a month or better. But I personally like to get it fresh because, again, antioxidants are the highest. All of the different beneficial properties are super high right out of the machine. So I want to just douse that with my fruits and vegetables. I want to get the stuff off it. And with the antioxidants, I'll get like twice as much mileage if I don't eat these in one sitting, because they'll last twice as long. Like, it's pretty crazy. Now, to show you how I clean, I have everything here pretty much you can get off Amazon. Okay, so this is just sesame oil, nothing fancy. I'm going to put some in these 2 cups, and we're going to see if I can make water and oil mix. Because when I was in school, Mr. Bishop, my science teacher, it was always the water and oil don't mix. That's just kind of a known thing. So in order to show that, I'm going to show that there, and you can see that the oil has come to the top. It's definitely separated. Now, when I'm cleaning, I do have plastic containers, but I bought them one time and I reuse them over and over. So I keep them in this, so I can just go right to work when I'm ready to like clean from my stove. I'm just like, yeah. So I'm going to use this and put it in here. And look at there. That emulsified and broke up, mixed with the oil just that fast, like right before your eyes. And this is also an indicator of what the 9.5 in a sense is doing when we consume it, because it's just, the water is so amazing. It just starts allowing the body to pick it up and utilize it and go right to work. Okay. So this is a great picture of how this works on my stove. Okay. So I'm going to move these and try not to wear them. So, okay, there we go. All right, so these ones here have been pretending they're washing in a sense. Oh, hey, I want to do something else too. So this stuff, because you're not here with me and you may or may not know me. So I want to show you that this isn't some weird, clear chemical or product. Drink it. Okay, now Enagic doesn't endorse drinking 2.5 or 11.5. Okay, but my point is, and like this is 2 weeks old, I think. My point is that I'm not going to urgent care when I get done here. I'm not calling poison control or anything. So it's great for your kids, your family, your pets. If they get into things, it's a very different reaction that you do when they get into stuff like that than if they got into your 409 box. Okay. So these are the tap water tomatoes. Okay. Fun. Again, I'm not going to do this tonight, but most of the municipal systems have chlorine in them. And the chlorine will get soaked up by your fruits and vegetables. So, at a minimum, if you're washing your fruits and vegetables in underneath the tap water, they're sucking up the chlorine, and then you're eating the chlorine. I mean, chlorine's a carcinogen. I mean, it has a purpose to get the water, like kill the germs, and that's great, but I don't want to consume it just because that's what had to happen to get water to my house. So luckily for us, there's ways that we can get that out. So you have your Kangen unit, like you're done, because in addition to making the living water, it has the filter in it that takes out the chlorine and the stuff we don't want. So as you can see, there's a difference in the coloration. Sometimes they have a dye to them and they will exhibit a different color, and sometimes they won't, because they're kind of onto folks trying to check things out. And so even if it's clear, it still has taken things off. If you were here, I'd let you taste them, because that's the best way to tell the effect of what's happened to them, is the taste. Like, we've had people here that literally just spit them out, like these. They'll eat this one first, and then they'll eat this one, and then so we started handing out napkins. So I was like, if you guys can't choke it down, I really don't want it on the floor, if at all possible. So this stuff is just, like I said, you can do so many things with all these waters, and we have excellent mentoring, coaching. I mean, the difference between us is you can buy stuff from anybody and anywhere, but you're getting us with the deal. And that's pretty exciting. We have a team. We have doctors on our teams. We have naturopaths. We have fitness folks. We have all natural bodybuilding champions. We have massage therapists. We have every old day people like myself and other things. So we're going to have you covered. We bring a wealth of value and knowledge to you and your endeavor, and we want to make sure you get the most out of it. So we're super excited when you decide to join with us. So everything can be done, like I showed you, out of this one machine. This is an SD501 Platinum. Only difference is it's silver. So if you have stainless, it looks great. I like the last bullet here because the power to share and change lives. I started with my friends and family that weren't being as difficult as I was. And then it just gradually morphed to my community, and then across Oregon, and then across the US, and globally now. So that's a pretty exciting thing. If you're somebody who wants to help folks, like this is just like really easy peasy. You just give them some water. So ask yourself, if anything I told you here, even if just one or two things was possible, like what is that worth? What is that worth to you? And for me, I decided that I had to get over myself and the price, and I was investing in me. I want to help people. I care about my family. I care about my loved ones. And my mom died at the age of 62 or 63 in January of 2012. I didn't want to be in the same path as that. And so thank God I listened to my friend, and I realized, holy moly, besides the pop and all, look at all these other things I was buying that I don't have to buy anymore. So it was just a win-win for me. And so, as I said, I bragged on about how you're going to get all of us, because I'm really excited about what everybody brings to the team here and brings to our experience. But I want you to learn a little bit about Enagic, because you get them, and they took the time and the effort to make sure this is available around the world. There's tons, not tons, but there's a lot of locations, different service centers. It's just the company is crazy. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to play this video because it will explain it better.
Enagic, a global pioneer of water ionization technology since 1974. Spanning over 5 decades, from humble beginnings in Japan to a global stage, Enagic's unwavering commitment to quality and innovation is evident. We've sold more than 2 million ionizers, transforming countless lives into healthier, happier ones. Enagic's financial stability, being a debt-free company, is not just a testament to our success, but also to our commitment to you and future generations. We're here for the long haul, ensuring the benefits of Kangen Water continue to flow. Each machine is certified to the highest standards, reflecting our commitment to quality and excellence, including International Standards Organization, ISO 13485 certification as a medical-grade device. As well, it is approved as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare and endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventive Medicine for Adult Disease. Enagic is the gold standard for water ionizers worldwide. Enagic has offices in 25 countries and 42 locations, making this life-changing water accessible to everyone. Enagic is an original equipment manufacturer, and every machine is assembled by one technician for the utmost quality and controls in our medical-grade factory in Japan. Units have a 25 to 30-year lifespan. Other ionizers claim to be cheaper, better, or whatever, and the whatever is the case. Inferior products, metals and technology made in Korea, China, and many brands made by one company. And Enagic is the only medical-grade ISO 13485 water ionizer. Together with Enagic, we can set a course towards enhanced wellness and sustainability. Thank you for exploring the world of Kangen Water with us. Here's to a healthier, happier, and sustainable world.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. We definitely value your time and value your commitment to yourself and learning and finding out more. So These are some of the Enagic products we talked about, the K8, the SD501, which is what's behind me. That was the flagship model at the time, but now we have the K8 and we have the Platinum that I showed there. These are the most current pricing. There are easy ways to get the units, as you can see here. And next steps, okay, or like, what's the next thing you want to do? Well, we find people kind of filter themselves into their own little groups, okay? So if you're in the group that's like, this is nice, but kind of maybe forget about it, it's not for me. I still thank you for being here. Thank you for being open-minded. And you know what? I'm going to take that as a not now. So I have had a lot of folks come back. So if it's not now for you, that's okay. If you're like, wow, I really understand this. I want to get a unit coming. I want to learn more about how that process works. Get back with whoever shared this replay with you or the person who invited you, or if you're following a person on social media or whatnot that you've learned from this from, get back with them. Okay. They're going to help you out. If you have more questions, I want you to get back with that person again if they're not here with you and just be like, hey, I watched this thing. It was whatever. I have some questions and ask them their questions. And also, you're more than welcome to come back next week when we do another like master class or presentation and bring your questions with you. We'll be happy to help you. And my little dollar sign is for CHOT because the wealth and the value that this has brought to all of us, our health, and just so many different things. Maybe you've heard like, oh, my friend kept telling me I could get my investment back. And basically there's a nice little refer friend program, right? Like that was super cool. So with that, CHOT, I'm going to pause, give it back to you. And thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you so much, Jody. Phenomenal job. So good. Such good information. Always, I'm getting a lot of these nuggets out here. Guys, the information that Jody gave is only information unless we do something with it. So once we get into our lives and we take in this water to hydrate and detox the cells, amazing things happen. And we want to hear about those amazing things that are going to happen to you because it's all about your testimonial. We have hundreds of testimonials and we could be here for weeks, and it just be non-ending of testimonials. So we want to hear your own testimonial. So if you don't have one of these, I would recommend highly, let's get together. Let's figure out a way how to get one for you and your family to get this going right away. It's one, in health, there's so many different modalities, right, to health. This is only one of many. Breathing is another. Just it's free, but if we learn how to breathe correctly, inhaling and exhaling, mindset, being mindful, reducing our stress, that's another way of increasing our health, getting the right amount of sleep. I know that sounds crazy and simple, but for some people, it's not simple. It's hard to fall asleep. So when the body's healthier and we can help get the body healthier, we can get the sleep that we need. The exercise, exercise can be anything that you do that you love that's moving the body. The body is made to move. It's made to, continue to grow, to flex the muscle and stress the muscle. And that's how we strengthen the muscle. So this whole show here is about better health. I want to share with you some other important modalities of health that we also incorporate into our lifestyle through our company in Magic. We incorporate these different products that, let me see here. My apologies. Get this down and get this up right here. So Jody talked about the water and how important it was to ingest it, take the water inside our body and let it do its magic. And she showed you the tea bag and the alkalinity as well as the antioxidant. Well, what about the shower that we're washing our dishes in our hands? Absorbs the chemicals, the toxins, the chlorine that's in the water, right? So when we're showering, we're also absorbing all the toxins that Jody was showing that the tomatoes would soak in and the fruits and vegetables if you're washing it with regular water. Well, our body's soaking that in. So we recommend and we utilize our friends and family utilize this technology from Enagic that is a mineral ionizing water, a filtration system, and it hooks up to your shower in like 3 minutes. You unscrew the shower head off, you put this on there. Most important thing is it pulls out the contaminants that our bodies would be sucking, would be absorbing in, when we're showering, because our body's a large organ, like Jody was sharing with us. Not only does it pull out the toxins and the bad stuff that's in the water, but what it puts back into the water when we're bathing in it, it puts back the mineral ions. Inside there's a clay rod that is made up of stones, the minerals that would normally be found in the natural hot springs in Japan. So it actually softens the skin, softens the hair. It's a natural conditioner. It's naturally, a beautifying conditioner on the outside of our body. Really important to have an Anespa in your home system. So you can find out more about the Anespa system at our website, enagic.com, and just go to products like I did here, and then you'll see the Nespa, that's what it's called, and click on it, and it'll take you right to where I was just at, so you can read up on it. If you'd like to know more about it or see ours, because we have ours hooked up in our showers, obviously, we can show you how it works, how to set it up. Like I said, 3 minutes, so easy to do, or we can send you more information if you'd like. Okay, so now bringing health on the outside of the body. Another product that we recommend is the Ukon. Ukon, the word Ukon means to translated over from Japanese is turmeric. And turmeric is very healthy for the body. It's a very high anti-inflammatory. And our company utilizes the two different types of Ukon that they harvest once one type of it in the spring, one type of it in the fall. Well, the Ukon is also how the company makes it. They utilize the 2.5 to disinfect the turmeric, the 11.5 to clean it. So it's utilizing the water, the Kangen water in making these. Even the outer shell that is made of Kangen water used to make the outer shell of it. So turmeric, like I said, very high in antioxidant. It's not the company not does the company puts together a supplementation that they fortify it with different minerals, oils, and vitamins, and so you get basically a full multivitamin that's good for the body. And just like the water that Jody was showing, the water was able to absorb at the cellular level. The turmeric here is able to be uptaken at the cellular level. So when you take it, it's not like a hard pill where it has to break down. It's going to melt. The outside capsule is going to melt, and then it's going to go. It's going to be able to get to the cell and into the bloodstream. Like Jody was saying, the Rolo effect. Turmeric actually speeds up, or excuse me, that's not the right word. Turmeric actually increases the flow of blood flow. So it's really good for your mind, really good for your visualization. I've had gentlemen that have told me that, with it's helped stimulate a lot of things that normally they would need some enhancement stuff to take. This is all natural. So highly recommend the turmeric. So all three products together, the Kangen water, the turmeric, and bathing in with the Anespa, you're just going to live a healthier life. And that's what this whole thing's all about. And so I wanted to share that with you. Going back to what Jody was saying about getting your investment back, these machines are an investment by absolutely they are an investment, but the return on investment comes in, it's priceless with what you get back, with the health improvements, with, better sleep, whatever it is that you're going to get back, it's priceless. It takes about if you share this, like Jody was saying, when we share it, the company sends us a thank you check or a commission in the tune of, from an average of $300 all the way to $2,400, $2,700. And that's to help pay off your investment. So when you invest in one of these products or two or three of these products, when you share it with 9 people who decide to do the same thing that we have all done, your investment gets paid back. And whether that takes you, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, or even 10 years, you get your investment back. For myself and so many on this call, it's paid us not only just our investment back, it's my livelihood. It's our livelihood. It's literally paid, for the lights and the computers and the house payments and, my daughter in college. So that's how far we can take this. We can take it as far as we want. That's going to be on another show, but I wanted to share that with you. So with that said, with the health, let's, get these products into our life. If you need the financial health, let me help you. Let us help you with that. And like Jody said, whoever invited you here, go back to them, tell them what you learned, tell them what you liked. Let's get this going for you guys. There's no better time than right now to start your path to better health and better wealth. So I'm going to turn it back over to my friends here, Jolene and Jody, to open it up the chat to see if there's any questions. I mean, we're going to feel free to unmic yourself if you have any questions on that. I see that the head nod, so there was nothing in the chat, which is fine. We're doing this again next week. Tomorrow, for those of you that are doing this as a business, we're going to be on a business call. So feel free to come in tomorrow as well. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.